age of 2, I had a high fever, and that's where I became deaf. So when I was in primary school, I actually entered a special school. Back then it was called Canadian School for the Hearing Impaired. And when I first entered the school, I noticed that everyone had hearing aids and they were using a lot of hand movement. Back then I didn't know anything about deaf culture. So when I entered that school, it felt like an entirely different universe. And I was beginning to wondering, like, why are they using hand movement so much? And why was their speech not as clear as mine? Like, I would hear some of them speaking like, and I'm like, why do they speak like that? And I was asking a lot of questions to my parents, like, why are they wearing those stuff and what are those sounds that they are making? And they were explaining to me that that I have a disability, and this school that I'm going to is a place where I'm able to kind of like connect, where I feel like I'm as equal as the rest of them. So entering that school was something that I realized that, oh, I do have this disability. At first it was very difficult for me to accept because I couldn't believe that I'm part of this disability group. Last time when I was younger, I would use hearing aid. But when I was in secondary 2, I decided to just take out and start to read lips and try to listen to what I can hear. Yeah, I don't like to wear hearing aid because I felt ashamed at that point of time. I felt ashamed to even be signing. And it kind of gives me a reminder that, oh, Ammar, you are a deaf person, you are not able to hear. So it kind of like killed my confidence. I didn't like showing my hearing aids. So it was a habit that after school, after I left school, I would always take out my hearing aid, put inside my bag. And I didn't want to show that I have a disability. And my father, he would explain to me that, you know, this hearing aid is just like a spectacle. People who cannot see, they use a spectacle to see. So as a hearing aid, I'm using a hearing aid device for me to hear, to enhance my hearing. For me, when I was growing up, I was faced with many challenges, many walls, because first of all, it all starts from family. When we have a family gathering, where they always tease me, oh, in Malay they will just say, oh, Ammar, you pekak lah. So over the years as I grew up, hearing that, I felt very discouraged. My family, most of them are hearing and they will just talk among themselves. So a lot of times I will always feel left out, in a sense where I don't feel I'm involved with the conversation. So that's what I was going through my childhood. But yet again, I always feel that I'm in the presence of the crowd, but not exactly being in touch with them. During the darkest time, I didn't know who am I. I had no identity because I wasn't even in an environment where I feel accepted in both hearing and deaf community. And yeah, that's where I begin to question myself, like, who am I? So secondary school was really a period of time where it was my darkest moment because I'm always in an embarrassing situation, and even in conversation where I ask, can you repeat for me? Say, oh, nothing, it's fine. So it's always a period where I feel that I don't belong to the society, or I'm not able to connect to the society. My ex-girlfriends always say that I'm so weird in doing things that is very different from the norm. I even heard it when I was in primary school, like, this guy is weird, why is he behaving like that? Or why is he talking like that? So I think that I wanted to take that word from a negative perspective and change it into something positive. So I think being weird is fun. I don't see myself the same as anyone, and I feel special in that case. So dancing was something that I first started since young because of my father. He introduced me to dancing from Bollywood movie. So when I saw how body movement was a form of expression for me, I felt that that was something that I could do very well. Yeah, and I would imagine that as being a hearing dancer, it's very easy to just like, oh, listen to the beat and just pa, 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 pa. I feel that as a deaf person myself, I use more of my visuals. Yeah, and you are able to see things around you trying to like, follow the rhythm. Even though I'm not able to hear 100%, I realized that bobbing of their heads was a rhythm. And I took that, and when I'm dancing, that's where the rhythm comes inside. So I noticed that when I'm dancing, some people will be like bobbing. So I will use that as a part of my ability to really see music. I learned a lot from movies where, for example, Charlie Chaplin, Mr. Bean. These two people are the key to show what filming is all about, because back then they started off without speaking, and it's so powerful as to how the whole world loved them without these two talents speaking at all. So from there I realized that is the idea of the body language or the facial expression. I felt that, oh, art is something that I'm able to express myself visually, because it's always hard for me to speak out my feelings. I figured out that art was something like a canvas, and I could paint something or I could film something. Yeah, so whether I'm dancing or I'm doing a video, it all ends up as a canvas, and the paint is my expression, the colors is all my emotions. I felt that I was the only deaf person in the art industry. But then I realized if I were to give up, then what is the purpose of my life, or what's the purpose of me being here now, and what is the purpose of me being deaf here? Challenges is something that motivates me. It allows me to quiz my brain juice, like finding out the solution or alternative ways to it. And it's something that kind of cover up my disability and make me feel a human. Yeah, and I didn't acknowledge that, or just because that I have a disability means I can't make friends, I can't make relationships. So this was something in my life that I thought that, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to prove to people wrong my ability to do this and that. This is who I am, and rather than focusing so much on what I cannot hear, let's just learn to accept what I can do with what I can hear. Usually I like to say this, bada bing, bada boom. It's from Godfather. So it's kind of an attitude of like, it's gonna be easy, just go with it. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what I will always do.
Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to see more, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and the notification bell.